What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Today on the program, I have Michael Frazier, the Poppop, Arkansas. Oh, now you know he's from Arkansas. He is quite a multifaceted man, a storm chaser, construction worker. He is a comic collector, or just a fan of the comics and such, and so much more. Kind of like a one-man Village People, all stuffed into one. Yeah. So we're going to talk in the next few minutes. You're going to learn about Michael Frazier, the Poppop, Arkansas community man, a man of many talents in the next few minutes. So stick around for that. This week's shows, I have my one public show this week, the usual Friday night gig at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. It's a little concert starring each and every one of you on Friday nights. That is from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. Now, last week, they had some electrical work in the area, in that little section right where the Rab is at. So they had to close last Friday night. We were so disappointed. Oh, my goodness. There were so many people going, what do you mean they're closed? Oh, there's some electrical work. Yes, I guess for the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And the needs of the many said we needed to do some construction on these electrical cables or wires. Maybe they were burying cable. I have no idea what they were doing, but they were doing something right there in front of the Rab. So I guess it was going to benefit not only the people of the Rab eventually, but also the people in the surrounding areas. So they had to do what they do. And I thank you so much to the people who do that kind of work. Working with their hands, putting the electrical wire up so we can have electricity for things, kind of like this, and me talking to you. Yeah, so I'm stoked. But this week, as long as the electrical grid holds up, we will be at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas on Friday night for the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam, the full bar, the kitchen, good food. 10 diamond style pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, you check out the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Good times, good people, big giant dance floor, lots of lights. It's a good club. It really is. It's a nice place. And I'm glad that I get to be there almost every Friday night of the year. So happy to be a part of the show. Thank you. Thank you, people of the Rab, for having me back every Friday night. There was a time or two over the last 20 years where they said, I think we might want to cut karaoke. That didn't last, but not even a week. I said, well, hey, I'm not going to be here anymore. And the people demanded that I come back. So I was I'm very happy that I can still get to do this and I'm humbled. I appreciate it so much. And then on Saturday, I think I have a wedding, but unless you're invited, you cannot come. So there. Why am I mentioning it? Because I still get to do weddings. So check availability at DJLittleRock.com and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. Yeah, I like to party with the people. Are you not entertained? Yes, let me entertain you. Speaking of, I guess that's enough intro. Let's get into it with Michael Frazier, the Poppop, Arkansas. I got him on Zoom, so if you're listening to the audio version, check out the video version on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Zooming Michael Frazier, the Poppop, Arkansas, now. This portion of the podcast brought to you by McDonald's, America's favorite Scottish restaurant, McDonald's. If you're listening to the audio version of this, I encourage you to check out the video version so you can see the Pop-Pop on your screen. The Pop-Pop, Arkansas. Michael Frazier, what is happening, my man?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just Waking up on this beautiful Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. Who does podcast on Sunday morning? I never, well, hardly ever. Occasionally I have some podcasters in England that like to do them on Sundays just for timing. But, most of the time I can do them through the week. But Pop, it's a special occasion. You have a day job. You take care of some people in the family and probably in your community. But we'll get into that. I've known you for so many years, but I don't know a lot about you. I know something about storm chasing, something about, something about cooking show, something about influencing on TikTok, somewhat selling some products, making sure people get taken care of. And I know something about lightning strikes, and we'll get into that, man. But, give the people an idea of who you are, Michael Frazier.
Well, I am a 53-year-old man of many things. Like you said, all those things, yep. But the one thing you don't know, I'm a peacock farmer. Also,
I saw that on your little blurb.
Have 12 Yep. We have 12 peacocks, and it takes 3 years before your males get really where they're fertile to fertilize the eggs. So we have a 3-year-old Fred, and we have some 2-year-old females, and, well, we had 37 baby peacocks this year, hatched. And we sold all but about 8.
Mazel tov, man. Okay, so peacock is kind of a misnomer. It's kind of a blanketing name. I know there's peahens, and some people may not know that.
Peahens.
Yeah, it's a peahen and a peacock. And what are the little babies? Do they have a special name as well?
Pea chicks.
Chicks. Okay, so it's all the same as chickens, but just put a little P in front of it.
Pea chicks, peahens, peacocks. But the blanket term peacocks gathers them all.
Yeah, people have an idea of what they are. Okay. I know when I was living down in the Florida Keys, we had some people that would keep peacocks. My ex-girlfriend, now wife. Okay, see how I did that? She's my ex-girlfriend. Now she's my wife. She lived on a place down there when we were living in the Keys, and she lived in a place that had a lot of peacocks, and I remember them making a lot of noise. Do they stay outside of your bedroom window and make noise, kind of wake you up in the morning?
Absolutely not. I mean, I can take you outside right now, and you won't hear a peep out of them.
All right, let's go outside.
They will get... All right, we'll go outside.
No, I'm kidding. Stay where you are, man. Stay comfortable. No. Oh, no, don't go outside. Get back in that chair. Oh, my goodness. This is good audio for the audio people, but the video, he actually got up and he was going to go outside. The man is good with directions, good with following instructions, works well with others. So what got you into raising peacocks, man? That sounds kind of, is it expensive? Is it easy to do?
I mean, it's real easy to do. You will be surprised how many peacock farms there are in Arkansas. I can probably take you to 8 of them that I know of that we've been to.
Yeah, but what can you do with a peacock? Can you eat them, or just they're pretty to look at?
All of it. I mean, I wanted one peacock because I thought it'd be cool to have one peacock running around the property. My wife took that as in I wanted 12.
Perfect.
So she wanted 12 to bring. She's an animal person.
Okay.
I call her my Daisy May, Ellie May,
Ellie May from the with the cement pond. Don't worry, we're people of a certain age. We are kind of the same age, man. Gen X, baby. The choice of a new generation.
Absolutely.
Yes, but okay. So, you have a wife that's give her an inch, she takes a mile.
Absolutely.
I agreed to one cat. We have 2 cats, but I could see that if you get one peacock, they're probably going to get a little sad and lonely. So it's good that you have 12 that they can take care of each other, especially if Daddy has to go off to work and do his thing.
Exactly, and let me tell you, Fred is a unique peacock. We've been offered $5,000 for Fred. He's just a plain Indian blue peacock. You can go buy a full-grown Indian blue peacock for $500. And it takes 3 years for them to be full grown.
Okay, you said
So-
$5,000, and now I want to raise peacocks. How do I get into this? No, I'm kidding, man. But that sounds lucrative. Sounds like
it can be. Fred. People want to buy him for his personality. Fred acts like a dog. When I go outside, when you let him run free, he would follow me like a dog would. I can tell him to go here. I can tell him to go there, and he'll do it. I go outside. If I don't see him, I go, ah-ha! Ah-ha! Holler at him, and he will holler and come running through the woods to me. And he would try to get on my car or in the back of the truck when I would go to work to go with me, and I had to shoo him out, and he'd run down the road chasing me. And if my wife would go outside on a weekend and I'm not out there with her, he goes to the door and taps on it for me to come outside. So his personality is totally unique to any peacock all these breeders my wife talks to has ever heard of. And they said, we want him so we can breed and get that kind of personality. And my wife said, no, I'm not separating those two. They're two peas in a pod.
Yeah, once you name these things, they start to become a part of the family. You can't eat something that you've named unless, of course, unless you're my father-in-law who raised a cow that he named Cheeseburger, and another cow he named Hamburger, and another one that he named Butt Steak or whatever it was. But once you name them, you can't eat them. But you kind of alluded. We're talking to Michael Frazier, the Poppop, Arkansas. Apparently, he's the winner, or at least a finalist in the Arkansas State Fair Peacock Calling Contest. We got a little ASMR on this one. Caw-caw! That was pretty funny, man. And they actually come when you call. They's as smart as dogs.
Yeah, Fred will. The other ones, we got Fred at 10 months. And the other ones we raised from 2 days after they hatched. We went and brought them home. They would sleep on my chest when I had a bigger beard. And we would love on them. Not one of them is like Fred. They're friendly. I mean, I can walk out in the pen. They will not attack me. They will just sit there and look at me and walk around. I can feed them. I can do this. Don't have to worry about being attacked. Fred wants to come up. And you know how birds, if you have like a parrot, it doesn't peck you, but it touches you and it sticks its tongue out and it kisses you. And that's how they say hi. They'll peck you, but it's not like a real peck. Fred does that to me. He'll come up there and just tap me with his beak and, give me a kiss.
All right. Well, we got a couple of cats, and they don't come when I call. Lorelei, no. Lair, no, they don't. They know their names. I've heard podcasts. I've read some papers where if you call their name, they've been in cats in cat scans. Have their brains will say, "Oh yeah, that's my name," but I'm still not coming when I call. It's nice that you have animals that are trained to come when you call. All right. Well, peacocks aside, let's move to another area of the Michael Frazier Poppop, Arkansas arsenal. What else do you do, man? You said you got your hands in different pots. What else do you do?
Yeah, I am a marketing coordinator for a construction company out of Morrilton. They're a wastewater company.
Name it, man.
And I've been in Little Rock. I used to work for a construction company that redid Robinson Auditorium. I got to stand in the middle of those four walls with everything taken out from the floor to the roof, standing on a dirt floor, looking up at the sky inside Robinson Auditorium, watching them bring a crane inside that to start rebuilding it. It's the coolest thing I've ever done in my life outside the tornado.
Okay, well, we'll get to the tornado. I want to hear about that. Last thing I saw over at the Robinson Theater was that Elvis show where they had four different Elvises from the four different, is it Elvises or Elvi? Well, my wife took me to the Elvi Elvis experience, and they had four different eras of Elvis at the theater. But for those that are outside of Arkansas, for my dear listener, tell people what the Robinson Theater is.
Robinson Theater is it's like 50, 60 years old. It's It's a theater. People come in. They would have concerts. They would have orchestras. They would have plays. They have comedians come in. When we took it apart, we found areas that had been blocked off that was labeled colored only stairways or colored only bathrooms or white only stairways. And, they had it all blocked off and covered up over the years as they're rebuilding all that. We found all that. It is a very old entertainment venue from back in the day.
Well, we're talking about history. I didn't. Who would have thunk we were going to talk about history on this podcast? Last night at the Choctaw VFW, some young ladies came up and they said, "Hey, can we sing a song?" And they wanted "Goodbye Earl," and they said, "Hey, can we get Goodbye Earl by the Chicks?" And I said, "You mean the Dixie Chicks?" And I don't think you're allowed to say Dixie anymore, just like white only and black only or colored only. This is history that's being wiped over, that's being glossed over. I guess we can kind of delve into that a little bit. What are you thinking about people taking away statues and kind of erasing history? You're doomed to repeat it if you don't remember it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, history is history, whether it's good or whether it's bad. You learn from it. And that's what it's there for. I mean, if you dive all the way back to when slavery was first formed, the people of their own race had slaves of their own people to begin with. And then they use that as trade. Here, we'll trade you our slaves for your guns, or trade you our slaves for your, product or material. I mean, slavery didn't start with, oh, we're going to go capture these people, make them slaves. People made their own slaves of their own people.
Yeah, and that's even more.
That's history.
That's even more
ugly.
More recent history is what you're talking about from the 1600s when the Africans were selling their own people into slavery. But slavery has been around since people have been around. The Egyptians had slavery; it's biblical. They got the Jews to build the pyramids, or maybe it was aliens. I don't know. I wasn't
the Hebrews, there. Moses and the Hebrews with Egypt.
Yeah.
Slavery's been around forever. It's a ugly part of human culture. 100%.
Yeah.
But it's there. You really can't ignore it because it's part of where we came from. We have evolved enough in America. We don't have slaves. We have evolved to where that is not acceptable. You don't forget the past, because you forget the past, you forget it's not acceptable. And then 100 years from now, we're going to make our own slaves again.
Well, before my loyal listener starts writing the emails, I realize there are forms of slavery. There's trafficking, child trafficking, human trafficking of all sorts. I've heard that in the news. I've seen reports of it. I haven't witnessed it firsthand, but somewhere there's a shipping container full of people that got trafficked from another country to do dastardly things against their will here in this country. So I realize that there's still that going on. But the en masse slavery out in the open, what the Civil War may or may not have been fought over, controversially speaking, that slavery has been done for a while. I'm happy about that.
Exactly. And like I said, there's always going to be some form of slavery somewhere. We can't wipe it out. Well, we just have to go and find it and free the people, one group, one set at a time, because once you free these, they're going to do another one. They're going to do another. You just got to, as you find it, you got to free them. It's an ongoing battle.
Well said, man. And I'm a slave to your content. I'm looking at your TikTok videos right now, the grid, and it's hit after hit after hit after hit. The man is a machine. You're hawking toothpaste over there, and some kind of hand cream over here, and doing a cooking show over there in your underwear. What is happening? What is going on with your TikTok videos?
Well, started a long time ago, but then she really got back into it, and she hit her 10,000 followers. She's up to 14,000, I think, now, and she's been promoting products. And the second full month of her promoting products, she made $200-300. And she says, "You're funny. You're more comfortable with people than I am." She is antisocial, but she has grown so much on doing her videos. She sounds natural. And she told me, "You need to start doing it." You need to start doing it. Okay, fine. And I started doing it. And I said, "I'm not going to be that serious." I mean, there's a video of me in a dress, wearing a wig, singing Three Pigs by Green Jelly. I opened my mouth and I said, "Hey, if I can get 5 subscribers, I'll do this." Well, I got 3 pretty quick. I got a 4th one. Then my nephew comes in and goes, "Bam, I want to see the dress, wig, and song. I'm your number 5. So I did that. And then there's the video of me. They sent me a male romper. It's a onesie without the legs. Let's just put it that way. And I got to promote it. Well, me being me, I'm showing my cheeks, wearing this romper, turning around saying, "Check me out." And then I go put on some shorts just to give people a reprieve from the big white legs.
Perfect. But they're rewinding.
So I will do anything anybody sends me.
Yeah, they're rewinding. They're taking screenshots. They're putting it up as life-size posters on the back of their door, doing vile things.
Absolutely.
Looking at your image because you're a hunk of a man, and I know your wife knows that. But yeah, I heard that there's money to be made on that TikTok-y thing, and maybe I get my piece of the pie. My brother's up to 173,000 followers. He's been doing it a long time. He does a lot of news items on there, news for thought. But
hey, your brother needs to share me out to his people for them to start following.
I think that's how I got 1,000 followers, because I was at 200 for a while, and then somebody shared it, and all of a sudden I was up at 1,700. I went, oh, okay. I guess somebody put their blessing on one of my videos, and I got up there, which is great. And that's nice. Social media, it's a way to make a little extra cheese, but you got your day job. You mentioned the construction and such, but you didn't mention the name of the company. Give a shout out, man. Let the people know where to get all their construction from.
Tolm Group, TOLM. We're currently in the last few months of finishing the water treatment plant down there in Lake Ouachita Hot Springs. The big one has been in the news. Another company put the pipe through Brady Mountain to pull the water. Gravity. It's the largest gravity-fed pipe this side of the Mississippi or in America that goes from Lake Ouachita all the way to the plant that we built there, and it's all gravity fed. So it's pretty cool. And we are in the process. Well, we started in January, groundbreaking, and we're about 15% through the big $85 million water treatment plant up in Batesville.
Cool.
Brand new greenfield building from ground up.
I'm glad you qualified that gravity pipe west of the Mississippi, because I've heard tell that the reason New York water is so good, reason that their pizza and their bagels are so good, is because the water comes all the way down from the Catskills, and it's like gravity fed all the way down. And I heard that they don't even have to have a lot of pumps to get the water to the city because of that gravity feeding, and that saves a lot of energy. So I'm glad that your company Tolm is a part of that. That helps. People don't realize that the infrastructure, the amount of work, the amount of dedication that construction takes. I'm glad that people still work with their hands. Yes, doing these videos, making these little TikTokies, and then Instagrams and Facebooks and whatever other social media is fine. But you have to have people that still work with their hands. I got some calluses. I'm not afraid to show them. I work with my hands as well from time to time. But hey, you got to balance it out. If I could sit on my butt and make some money, that would be good. If I can get in my kitchen and make some money, that would be good. And if somebody wants to watch and throw a couple bucks at us, that would be great as well. I noticed you said I put my Cash App up here. Well, so maybe people, if they got a couple extra bucks and they like what they see, they'll throw it at us, right?
Exactly. And one thing that my company has done, we do a pickleball tournament in the spring. And we do that to raise money to put into a scholarship fund for people wanting to get into construction, whether they're going to college or trade schools. Trade schools is the hardest thing to find scholarship money for. You got to pay for that usually out of your pocket. Well, we are doing it where we will give I think we gave 4 or 5 $2,500 scholarships this year for trade schools and colleges. And if you're going to an electrical trade school, plumbing, heavy machinery, any of that trade school, we'll give you a scholarship for that.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been out of high school, and there was vocational studies that were offered in conjunction with the high schools. And I know you have auto body and basket weaving and what. And I took advantage of the electronics for the last 2 years of my high school. I had to go off campus. I was at Western High School in Davie, Florida, and they had me go to Sheridan Vocational. So I got on my motorcycle at 12 noon, grabbed a bite to eat, and then got to the vocational studies by 1 or somewhere a little after 1. And I started to learn electronics while I was still in high school, which was great. I learned a little bit about how to take things apart and put them back together. Working with your hands once again, developing the electronics. This is back in the 80s, back in the 1900s for you kids out there that are listening. Way back then.
Back when America was fun.
Oh, it was, man. The Reagan years, voodoo economics. It's trickled down, but we're
Ollie North for president.
Yeah, we're seeing that now. We're Ollie North, man. He was the fall guy for sure, man. Took all the hits, and from what I understand, when he was doing the congressional hearings, he was wearing his uniform. Wasn't he kicked out of the armed forces? Still wearing his uniform, and we were kind of likening that. Hey, I work at KFC. And if I got fired from KFC, you don't see me tooling around in my Kentucky Fried Chicken outfit, do you? No. And he wasn't even in the Army, but he was doing all that. But hey, the 80s were fun. The music was fun. The times were fun. That's where I grew up. Class of 86 rules, smack dab in the middle. And when I'm doing these shows, and if I don't know what music to play, I always ask the guest of honor, what year did you graduate? Because whatever year you graduated, you probably like the music from around that year. And you probably will for the rest of your life. What year did you graduate, Michael Frazier?
I graduated in 1990.
You probably like Ice Ice Baby and Hammer Time is probably still in your head. Still has a space. Exactly. Has a little space in your head. So everything from 1990 and the 89, maybe some Metallica, early Metallica from 88, 89 is in there somewhere. But
all the hair bands are up here.
Yeah. They take free space, free rent in your head, as the kids say these days. But all right, so you're a construction guy, you're a peacock farmer. Let's move on to what my wife got piqued. I was like, I'm going to speak to one of these storm chasers, I think. And whenever there's a storm, she always pops on one of the YouTube channels, and I say, I don't know if it's one of the storm chasers or one of the people that you have watched, or maybe it is. But Michael Frazier, the Poppop, Arkansas, tell us about the storm chasing and the tornadoes and lightning.
Well, I've always loved storms, and before me and a couple of friends got together and formed a legit icon on the radar in all the news stations, storm chaser icon. I would get out there and, we see storms. I throw the kids in the back of the car and we'd be going down there, going to where we heard a tornado was. And they just fascinate me. Growing up, I remember seeing the pine needles sticking in boards, not crumpled up, but sticking in boards that tornado pushed it through. And so, me and a couple buddies, we were talking, and we was talking about forming one, and we was talking to a local radio station, and they said, "Yeah, we'd love to have you as a voice. You go out there, you can call in and tell us what you're seeing. If things had went well, we would get you a armored vehicle, wrap it, and you would be the voice of severe weather." And I'm like, awesome, dream hobby. So that year, March, early April, me and Brian, we ran to Mayflower, Maumelle, caught a lot of rain, caught a lot of flooding. Nothing really big.
What year?
Well, April 27th, 2014. So April 27th, 2014, big storms are coming. We had, Cotton had a truck, had the weather machine stuff on top that do all the wind speeds and all that, the barometer, the humidity, all the good stuff. And we gotten all the apps that the storm chasers would use. So he comes, picks me up. We head up towards Knoxville and all that here in Arkansas. And, we're seeing a lot of, clouds here and there and all that stuff. Well, we're starting to head back to Conway. And all of a sudden, they start talking about the system coming up from, down south, I-30 and all that, Arkansas. And at one point, they said it's going to come through the bean fields up there in Maumelle. We knew exactly where that was at. So we stopped listening to the radio and we're talking. We're heading to the bean fields because that's where it was projected to go. Well, things change in the storms and it takes a different path. We didn't realize that. Our fault for getting excited. We was going to get to see a tornado and talk about it. And we stopped, grabbed Cotton's wallet. He forgot it. And we get back on the interstate and we hit Mayflower. And it's getting dark. And we pull over because it's kind of freaking us out. And we're trying to go for it. 18-wheeler passes us. We can't go forward anymore. We're being pushed. And I'm in the back seat of the truck. And I'm like, roll the window down a little bit so I stick my phone out and do a little video. He said, I'm not rolling my window out. And next thing we know, we are lifted up. We are spinning around. You can't see nothing. You're hearing all this stuff. And the three of us in a truck are praying, oh my God, Jesus, help us. We're stupid, Jesus. We are dumb, redneck idiots. Help us, Jesus. And then the next thing you hear is the explosion of the windows of the truck exploding. Back in the day, our grandparents' day, those little door stops, like a cast iron door stop that they would put on the wood stove to heat up and iron their clothes, but they use it to keep the door open. One of those flew through, hit Cotton in the back of the head. That's what shattered the windows. And for about 3 minutes, we're spinning around inside the tornado. And they say when it first hit Mayflower, where we were at, the city limits, it had gotten up to an EF3. And now it goes on for 46 miles. And it gets close to an EF5 going through Valonia and goes to the other side of El Paso. There were 19 people total that died from when this tornado started in Saline County, Pulaski, all the way through Faulkner. There were 10 people in Valonia that died, 9-year-old and 7-year-old brothers. it was a cool experience to be able to walk away from, because it lifted us up and set us 150 yards back facing the other way. And there was a lady that had a big cut across her face. We got her into another vehicle, and the guy was able to get through and get her to the hospital. And as we're standing there, I could hear, help, help, just soft screams. And I'm looking around, and in Mayflower, there used to be this small woods, small, just 50-yard deep, long of trees. They weren't there no more. And I could see this small building, probably 4x4. And so I take off towards it. It used to be a house. That was the bathroom that this 70-year-old couple was stuck in, because the house was gone and they were in this little bathroom. I'm climbing through the house, trying to holler at the emergency people that were just now getting out of the firehouse over there. They were showing up. I'm screaming at them to come help. They get over there and yell at me to stop. I never once looked for electrical wires that were connected to the house or come through. I'm just climbing through trying to help these people. So I'm just sitting there looking around and make my way carefully back out, walk back to the highway. And I could not call my wife, because anything going north or west to Conway wasn't getting through. I called my parents and let them know in Pine Bluff. And my kids were sitting there. I'm sending pictures of Craig O'Neill. I had Craig O'Neill's cell phone, so I'm texting him pictures. And they're putting it on Channel 11 News. So my kids, who were with their mom, were seeing on the news the vehicle we were in. I never sent pictures of us, just the truck that was totaled. My wife, at her job, nursing home she's working in, saw pictures of the truck, did not see pictures of me, could not get a hold of me. So that was strike one against me right there.
Yeah.
And so we finally got to a point to where we got a hold of somebody that said, hey, I can come up to Mayflower right there at the interstate, but I can't come past. So we had to walk 1.5 miles to get to him, for him to drop us off where he needed to. So he dropped me off. I got my truck, drove to my wife at the nursing home. I go walking in, and I'm in my shorts, my hoodie, and I'm filthy, because all the dirt debris came flying in the truck. And she looks at me, because they had to get all the people and put them in a safe place at the nursing home. And they were just now getting them back to their rooms. And she pointed to the room. She said, the room's empty. Go shower off. So I go in there, and she follows me. She's pissed. She's hugging me, but she's pissed. And I take my shoe off. I put my foot down, and I lurch because it hurt. I pulled my foot up, and she pulled a piece of glass that long that went through the bottom of my shoe into my heel and just pulled it straight out. It was all the way. How it got in my foot with my foot, I mean, I guess I must have been thrown all around it with the seatbelt. I just didn't know it. And so there was a pile of glass about that big around, about that high, that washed off of me. I had shards of glass I had to pick out of my arm. I was spitting little pieces of glass out for 3 days. And she's sitting there. I'm still in shock, adrenaline high. And she's looking at me. She says, you got 2 choices. She said, you can storm chase or you can be married. You cannot do both.
Okay.
And I just looked at her. It wasn't registering what she was saying. I'm like, but I can do both. I mean, I can be married. And she goes, you are taking too long to decide. I went, I want to be married.
Ooh, okay.
It clicked right then.
Light bulb.
I want to be married.
Okay,
yeah,
Michael.
because I was trying to figure out, I can do both.
Michael Frazier, Poppop, Arkansas. For my loyal listener, he's not pitching a Hollywood movie. He's pitching real life. This is what's happening. Any of fans of Twister or even the new Twisters movie, which may or may not be on the on the high priority, but all right. I was a firefighter for a long time. You see my helmet back there, and back in the '90s, down in Miami, the Florida Keys. And we had through the 90s. 92 was probably the biggest year for storms. We had Hurricane Andrew come through August 22nd, 1992, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember right. And that knocked out all the power. There's a 20-mile stretch between the Florida Keys, Key Largo, and Miami, Homestead, the lowest part of the mainland. And there were trees and debris and all kinds of things in the middle. So, we're in a fire truck, and from time to time we had to climb out of the fire truck using chainsaws and axes to get stuff out of the way. But one thing that you did, yes, being a storm chaser, living that life, you see on news shows, you said you talked to Craig O'Neill. I don't know if he started on the streets before he got the anchor desk, but you see some of these reporters that are out there in the rain, in ponchos, reporting, and they're holding on for dear life. I'm out here, and it's raining real bad. You should stay inside. And then, of course, you're screaming at your TV, you should go inside. Why are you out there? Well, you're out there because you heard, help, help. And you may have saved that life, man. Saved several lives. People that may or may not have gotten help that they desperately needed otherwise. So that's why you did what you did, and you doed what you doed. Name the people that were in your group. You mentioned Brian. You mentioned Cotton. Who?
Cotton Roschrab.
Okay.
Mike Willingham, not the weather guy, Mike Willingham, another Mike Willingham there in Little Rock. He's more political. And Brian Britt. Brian Britt was actually in Alabama on vacation, but he was on the apps watching, saying, there's a debris ball. What are y'all doing? Why are you? He was trying to get a hold of us saying, why are we going into the ball instead of watching it? Because we got excited. And Craig O'Neill, you're not a Arkansas child from the 80s. Craig O'Neill got his start as a radio DJ in the mornings making prank phone calls.
I remember
he did that for
him.
years, and then went into sports at Channel 11, and then ended up on the anchor desk.
Yeah, I remember meeting him briefly
retired.
when I was on the radio down in Little Rock for a while. When I first got here to Arkansas, 2009, I was at 96.5, and I can't even remember the other radio, but it was sports 93.3 that was short lived, and we had some of the greats from Channel 4 and Channel 16. The Team 20 is what they call themselves here in Arkansas, because they're Channel 4 and Channel 16 kind of combined together. But I think Craig O'Neill took a walk through and maybe had a little. I was running the board for them, and every once in a while you'd hear my docile tones on the microphone, my stuttering self. But for the most part, I was getting to listen and learn from these Arkansas mighty giants of broadcasting, which was great. It was a great experience. And what did they call him? The lips? Because he had fish lips?
Big lips.
Big old lips. I like that.
Craig the Lips O'Neill. He is the legend on the radio here in Arkansas.
I've heard that, and it was nice to at least meet him, press the flesh. I shook his hand, and I got to hear him talk. It might have been with Michael Smith and Wes Moore on their show, or I don't know, maybe it was Pat Bradley and Clint Sterner, one of those two. But here I am name dropping local legends in their own rights. Razorbacks. I know that you're a kind of a Razorback. I'm looking at a picture on your. One of the top pictures on your Facebook recently is you at a Razorback game. Was that a game? Did you go to the?
I was there yesterday with a buddy of mine. He has a box down there in the end zone. So I go with him, sit in the box in the end zone and watch the games.
Where yesterday? Where were you?
Fayetteville.
Oh,
To
okay.
the whooping we took for Notre Dame.
Okay, well, that's kind of a drive, man. A couple about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a wedding up in Eureka Springs, and that was 3.5 hours to work 5 hours to come back 3.5 hours. That's a long day. Did you go there and back in the same day?
I got up about 4:30, left here about 5:30, got there at 8:00, went to the game. Probably about 30 minutes after I got there, the game started at 11. Went to the game. We left at third quarter because it was so bad, and went back to his. He owns a company here in Little Rock, but he has an office up there, so he has a house he rents. So he went back there with a whole bunch of people. We grilled out burgers and roasted carrots and corn and onions, and just had a great time. And then I drove back and got here about 9:00 last night.
See, I mentioned working on sports radio. I'm not really that into sports, but I did learn the love that people in this state have for their Arkansas Razorbacks, and a woo pig suey to you, sir. But and I even I went and I bought myself an Arkansas football shirt when I first got here, just to be a part of the show. And here I am from Miami. I loves me Dolphins. I remember in '72 when the Miami Dolphins were undefeated, and probably the last time they had a winning season with Bob Greasy and oh my gosh, Don Shula was the coach, and then Bob Greasy was the quarterback, and everybody else you don't need to know because those are the main guys. But that was in '72 when the Miami Dolphins were number one. But I got here and I had to develop a love for Arkansas sports because that's what we got, especially collegiate sports. Fayetteville with their Arkansas Razorbacks, the Red Wolves famously for the first time ever playing the Arkansas Razorbacks. Yes, they lost, but people pretty much predicted that. That was just a couple of weeks ago.
People were hoping for that.
Yeah. Oh, of course, because it's a lose-lose situation. If the Arkansas Razorbacks would have lost to the Red Wolves, they would have had such face lost. But even though they won against the Red Wolves, you just beat a smaller team. No big deal.
Exactly.
And supposedly, I was funny enough, I did a wedding the week before that. The week of that game, I did a wedding, and a guy, the father of the bride, had something to do with the UCA athletic department. He was saying, next year on the roster, UCA is supposed to play the Razorbacks. Do you know anything about that?
No. And that is not good for the
yeah.
Frank Broyles would never let Arkansas Razorbacks play an in-state team. He said there's no point in it. Like you said, if we win, okay, we beat a cupcake. If we lose, we will never hear the end of it.
No.
It will always be remembered. But Frank Broyles has gone on to the big hog pen in the sky.
Yeah.
And last year we played UAPB.
I'm not even sure what that is. What is UAPB?
University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
Okay. And that's a real small school, I guess.
That's a real small school.
And
then this year we played ASU. I mean, I guess we're playing UCA next year.
That's the rumor, okay? And you might have heard it first right here on the What Makes You Famous podcast. But, I thought in my head, and of course this is all speculation, the reason that they played at War Memorial Stadium is because that place is kind of falling apart. I've been to different, I said I wasn't that much into sports, but I really like going to the games, the experience of camaraderie and meeting with people, having your hamburgers and hot dogs and tailgating, the experience of just a human interaction, everybody,
the socialization,
doing the wave. Oh, that's fantastic. Woo pig suey. Yeah, that's great. Just screaming for your team and just having a good time. And of course the next day being hoarse and not being able to talk too much. I'm glad you're able to talk after going to a game. We
did not have much to scream for yesterday.
All right. Maybe screaming at him, hey, do you know which end zone is yours, sirs? Because you're not getting there with the ball quite as much as you should be. Being
Well,
real
and
polite.
here's the bad thing about the Razorbacks.
What?
They until yesterday they've had the most explosive offense in college football. Last two games, their defense sucks.
All right.
Last two games, last 2 minutes or less, they are running to the end zone. They're 10 yards. They fumble the ball and lose it the last two games when all they had to do is kick a field goal and win.
Okay, so these are bad things. These are things they should have done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't kick a, you try and get to the end zone, but when you get to fourth down, you kick it when you're that close.
Right.
But you don't fumble it before you can kick it. And they would fumble it. They get their first down. They're trying to go for more. Boom. Oh, ball's knocked out. Other team gets it. They hold it for the last minute and a half, 30 seconds. They win.
Yeah. Did they recover it and take a few yards, or did just recover?
Oh yeah,
it
they went and killed the time, and game over.
Yikes.
So I mean, Arkansas, they're not a bad team. They were a bad team yesterday.
All right.
Their defense has not shown up all year. I mean, 56-13. And I would not be surprised if our football coach was fired and we have a new coach come Monday.
See, but that happens quite a bit, man. Of course, it's all blamed. The buck stops here. Whoever the top dog is the one that's going to be blamed for it. I think when I was down there at sports radio, it was Bielema was the coach. I'm not even sure who the head coach for Arkansas Razorbacks is right now.
Well, there's a debate. It's Sam Pittman, or it could be Bobby Petrino again come Monday.
Okay, and these are guys that have been there before, right? That wasn't one of them?
Bobby Petrino has. Bobby Petrino was the head coach back when he had the motorcycle wreck with the swim coach's girlfriend on back. Yeah. Now, I would tell you this. Bobby Petrino has come back to a Arkansas touchdown club, and he has really fixed his life, I want to say. He came back, he said, first thing I want to do is I want to apologize to the state for what I did. I was wrong. I have taken the time to repair my family. I have put my family first and foremost. I've repaired my family with my grandkids and all that. He said, I want to apologize to y'all, and I wish there was a way I could ever come back and make it up to you. Because I did not do the Arkansas Razorback fans right. He was very humble, very apologetic, very sincere.
Now,
and then
yeah,
a year or so later, he was given the offer, hey, would you like to come back to be our offensive coordinator? He jumped on it. He said, I would love, and he was at Texas A&M. He was at a good school, a winning school in the SEC, but he left that to come to be ours because he wanted to make up for what he did back in, 2014, 2011, 10, somewhere back then. What he did back then, he wanted to make up for it for the Arkansas Razorback fans. He loved Arkansas, loved the fans. His family loved Arkansas. He screwed it up, and he says, I screwed it up. So I always, when he got hired back, I said they had to fire him for what happened, but nobody wanted to fire him because Arkansas was on that up path. But he had to be fired. There's consequences to actions, which kids today don't realize there's consequences to actions. And, but I said, once Sam Pittman says once he leaves Arkansas, whether he's fired or he retires, he's done. He is retired and he is done with football. This is his last stop. He's got a house in Hot Springs on the lake with a big bronze Razorback water fountain sitting right there in front of his house. He's ready to retire.
Well, now
they brought Bobby in to take his place when he is done, is my opinion.
Well, now you're touching on humans, mistakes, and learning from those mistakes, and rehabilitation. And don't don't cancel someone forever because they made a mistake, even if they go to jail for said mistake. Yes, some people deserve to be in jail for life, forever and ever, because if you let them out, they will no doubtedly do those things again and again and again and be a detriment to society. But someone who may or may not have allegedly, or if it's true that he was with another person's lady and probably shouldn't have been, and gotten a motorcycle wreck. Well, I am with him on the motorcycle wreck.
Motorcycle wreck.
Well,
the boyfriend beat the crap out of him.
Okay, all right. February 22nd, 1987. I got in a motorcycle wreck, and I feel for those people who lay their motorcycles down. But okay, maybe it wasn't a motorcycle wreck. Maybe there was an altercation there that you know more about. But you know, once they have forgiveness in their hearts, and you see that forgiveness, maybe not like Jimmy Swaggart, or was it I have sinned against you back in the 80s. Oh, I remember when the evangelist would be crying on the air. No, you got caught, stealing money from people that were trying to worship God in their own way. Trying
Tammy Faye and Jim Baker.
That was it. I've sinned against you. And I remember those days, man. But that, was that heartfelt? Was that something that you can believe? But maybe Bobby Petrino was heartfelt. Do you believe that he is sincere, that he made a mistake, or is he more that I got caught? Won't do it again.
I think at the time he got caught. But I think between then and now, him and his wife have been to counseling. He has worked on himself. He has been humbled because he was here and fell to here. Falling can humble a person real quick. And the only way to build yourself back up is to admit, it was me. It wasn't them or them. It was me. My fault, my actions. That's what caused all this. And at that point, that is the only time you can literally start rebuilding yourself back to where you were. But he did that, and he maintained the humbleness and did not become that arrogant college football coach that you see a lot of times.
Very good, man. Hey, looks, if it's in the cards, if it's in the stars, if it's the Lord's will to have him back as head coach, and hopefully Arkansas Razorbacks are all the more better for it. Fantastic, man. Well, we explored those avenues. I noticed, and even though it was a horrible game experience, you still had fun. I'm looking at smiling faces. You all decked out.
We had a blast.
Decked out in full red, Razorback red, with your hats on, and your shirts, and you're still loving your team, still following your boys, and
absolutely
rooting. And it's nice, man. It's nice to be a part of the team. You've been a part of the team. You're part of the Tome construction team. What was the name of your storm chaser that of course you had to give up because you like being married?
Arkansas Hell's Angels.
Are they still doing it?
No, all our wives canceled us. And I mean, it was such an adrenaline rush. I would still be doing it if she would have allowed me. And I'll say it, if she would have allowed me. I mean, I had the choice.
Yeah.
But I don't think the other guys would have kept doing it.
Yeah.
I think that was close enough to death. They were done.
Yeah, in my 20s, I was a firefighter, and I enjoyed that. I mean, I enjoyed going in, putting the wet stuff on the red stuff, and taking care of people and saving lives. I mean, I'm happy to say that these hands have saved lives. This mouth has been on another mouth to save a life, and it worked out. I was a firefighter for 10 years, and I worked at the hospital in the emergency room, Baptist Hospital of Miami, for another for 7 years. Some of those years were congruent, but saving, taking people to the hospital and then going to work a shift at the hospital and seeing what happens when they finally get into that emergency room and taking care of trauma people. It's saving lives, man. Once you, all right, and correct me if I'm wrong or if you agree, once you take care of yourself, that's the first thing is you have to make sure that you are centered. You have yourself in line. Then you take care of your immediate family, and you make concentric circles out into your into your community as your resources allow. As far out as you can. And what you're doing as a storm chaser, as a construction worker, even as a Razorback, as a fan, you are getting out of the community, being a part of said community, and helping. Making happy times, because one of the what is it, the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, one of the panels or tannels or whatever the word is of this country.
Tenants.
Was it?
Tenants.
That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Poppop, Arkansas, with the save. Is the life, the liberty. You're pretty much guaranteed that, and the pursuit of happiness. You have to pursue that happiness, and I'm glad that you're doing it.
Not given to you. You got to chase it down.
You got that right, man. You got that right. And there's been a lot of stuff in the news, man. We were talking about the '80s, how history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, man, and it's kind of happening now. I remember when I was a kid, learning politics, learning about civics and such. I remember that the Democrats, they give all of our tax money to the people, and then the Republicans give all the tax money to the corporations, and it trickles down from there. So either you give it directly to the people and let them squander it and do whatever they want with it, or you give it to the companies, and maybe the higher ups will just keep most of it for themselves, but some of it might trickle down. I mean, getting political, but I kind of worry about where the money's going. And Warren Buffett probably said it right when he said that his secretary was paying more taxes percentage wise than he was. I mean, everybody's got to give their fair share. Everybody's got to. Yeah, go ahead.
That's why I am all for a 20% flat tax, because you do that, everybody's paying 20% of what they make. Because, I mean, let's be honest. All our congressmen, the House, Senate, they all came in making, median average pay in their state. I mean, look at AOC. She was a bartender. She's now worth what, $12-14 million, and she only getting paid $150,000. She ain't doing that many book deals. I don't think she hasn't done a book deal. She ain't been doing that many speaking engagements to be paid, which I think if you're a senator, congressman, active, you shouldn't be paid to speak anywhere. You're paid to represent your people. If you want to go do, you go do. But all this jet setting around, instead of being in Washington doing your job, that should come out of your own pocket. You should not have people going into Congress coming out millionaires.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with the system.
It happens quite a bit. And even Bernie Sanders, who has a great following, at one point, he became the thing that he spouts against the most. He became a millionaire. Of course, he's down.
He has 3 houses and multiple cars.
Now he's back down to 300,000. So he gave a lot of it away. So I think of all people, he may be talking the talk more than some others. But people, you were talking about that 20% tax that has been talked about since I'm a little kid. Having a flat tax. And it just ain't happening for some reason. It sounds so smart to me. For people that are scared of socialism, yeah, we have social things. You have the fire department. You have the police department. You have an ambulance. We have the road department, infrastructure. You need some social things. I don't want free healthcare. I want affordable healthcare. I don't need free schooling. I need affordable schooling. My grandpa went to college. That's a bad analogy. My grandpa didn't go to college, but my grandma went to college, went those 4 years, and came out debt free because she had a part-time job, paid for her school, and got out. But the New Deal kind of ruined it because once the government starts subsidizing medical, subsidizing school, then the school goes, we could charge a bunch more because the government's going to pay for it if the student can't. Oh, and then you got these schools that just got millions and millions of dollars in their pockets. You got pharmacies pharmaceuticals, they got millions and millions, billions. I'm saying millions like I'm still back in the 80s. Billions, I'm sorry, with a B, dollars that, they're not paying their fair share. 20%. Man, that is so smart. I think you solved the problem. 20% across the board.
I mean, and they can even make it easier. Get rid of all income tax, and you have a 20% sales tax on everything you purchase. It goes to federal. You have a 8% tax that goes to the state. And what you buy, you pay taxes on, and you're done. You don't have property tax because once you buy it, it's yours. You had that 20%, that 8% tax, boom, it's done. You buy your car, you have that 20%, you had the 8% tax, boom, you're done. Why do I need to keep paying taxes on property I own?
Yeah, I think you solved it,
man.
That's
just the government looking like, we're going to create this to keep making money. Residuals.
And how much easier would it be? You can get that 3x5 card that's been proposed once again since I'm a little kid. 3x5 card for your income tax. I made this much, 20% of this much, on a calculator if you got to use it, or if you can do it in your head, like we're supposed to be able to do. 20%. It's just 10% twice. Oh, okay. There you go. Makes it easy. Put it on a card. Put your, make your little check. Send it over to the IRS or whatever. Paying your taxes, that kind of thing.
But see,
but I guess
you do it as a sales tax.
Yeah, you wouldn't have.
You don't even have to do that.
Problem solved, man. Michael Frazier, Poppop, Arkansas, for office, any kind of office. Would you ever run for office?
I would probably get myself in trouble by being too logical if I was in office.
You just make too much sense.
I said, dude, you're dumb. You're an idiot. It's simple. Boom. See, I got my master's in church ministry, and theology class was the worst class I ever had to take twice. Theology 1, theology 2. Because I had to really search for articles to write about that I understood what the crap they were saying. And I even put it in every one. I said, this is some of the stupidest stuff I've ever had to do, theology. I said, all theology is this person trying to make it sound more complicated so he looks smarter than this person. And then the next person is going to make it more complicated. I said, you're not going to be able to witness and save people and bring them to Christ by talking the complicated theology. Keep it simple. And that's what's wrong with politics. I mean, like right now, they're going to shut down the government. And I don't care which side you're on. The one side put a straight, here's all our bills, here's how we're going to pay it. There's nothing added to it. The other side goes, well, if you want to do that, we want extra money for this project and this project before we'll vote for it. No, you dummies. Paid straight bills. That's it. Don't throw this extra fluff, because if you're throwing extra fluff, and it happens on both sides, then you're getting a kickback somewhere. You got friends that are getting a kickback somewhere. Somebody you're doing a favor for because they want to make this money, and then they're going to owe you a favor so you can get something down the road. And that's the biggest problem with politics, is people doing this or that to get favors, and we're paying for these favors. Let's just pay our straight bills.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like, because I know that there's people in Congress that do yell at each other, you're an idiot. That there has to be that kind of rhetoric here back and forth. But there has to be people that go to the big show, to federal, to even state, to any kind of office trying to make a difference. They have to be going in thinking, hey, I can make a difference. I can make things better. I can propose that 20% flat tax and make a difference. No income tax. That would be great. Even old Billy Clinton, when he went to the big show, he brought that Arkansas sensibility and balanced the budget. Because in this state, I think it's the law. You have to balance the budget before you finish it, right?
Yeah. Bill, you lagged out on me for a second.
Okay. All right.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
I voted for him twice.
Balance the budget.
I mean, he went in with a great. Now, yeah, he had some moral integrity issues.
Yeah.
But you mean to say something? Even though I disagree with that as a Christian, he shouldn't have been doing that, and it was wrong. It didn't affect his policies.
Yeah.
His policies were good. And now, I'm probably going to get controversial, so I apologize to you. If Trump would keep his mouth shut and just do his policies, I don't have a problem with all these policies because they're working. Him running his mouth the first term, he's doing better this time than he did the first time.
Is he?
I'm talking minuscule.
Yeah, you lost me at if Trump stops running his mouth. Just do the job. Just do your job and stop talking, man.
100%. If he would just do his job, I like a lot of the policies he's doing.
Yeah, he's got some good ideas. And a lot of the
policies are working. I mean, if they don't work, he'll come back and say, hey, we're going to do it different.
Yeah.
That's great. Not everything's going to work, but I can see a difference being made now than what was the last 4 years.
I mean, just like me when I'm on the microphone at my karaoke shows, I'll run my mouth. I'll say stupid stuff, about the videos that I'm playing or the people. And, oh, look at that shirt, just crazy stuff. Oh, hey, that's a nice haircut you got there. Oh, check out those boots. Very innocuous stuff. But sometimes I'll say stuff that, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that on the microphone. Maybe I shouldn't have said that at a crowd of 200 people. Maybe he shouldn't have said that in a crowd of 600 million or 300 million people. How many people are in this country? Or 8 billion people, because his megaphone goes around the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes he just, less is more.
Yes. You don't have to tell everybody about everything all the time. We can know that, hey, government does keep some secrets. Are there aliens out there?
My thought process on that, how arrogant are we to think that God didn't create other people on other planets out there, and we're the only ones?
Yeah, and you being theological, I mean, other people would think, maybe God is the alien. And that's what we know as God. We'll know at the end of this journey, I suppose. And I guess
absolutely.
As we're winding down the end of this journey, I know I've kept you. I told you it was going to be an hour, but I think we've gone over a little bit, man. I'm having a great time talking to Michael Frazier, the Pop Arkansas, bro. I've known you for so many years.
If my life was slower, I would be at one of your karaoke nights. But we got a grandson with us right now, and you just can't take him to the Rab.
Life.
He's almost 2. They would not let us in the door.
Well, I'm hoping I get another family-friendly show. I did some Mexican restaurants, and that was fun, man, having families together, bringing families together. As it is, I got boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives that'll sing duets together and develop bonds closer. I had one guy last night just singing directly to his wife, takes that microphone and just stands in front of her, and she was just eating it up and loving every minute of it because he's a good singer, and I love that is a part of it, and I get to be there to witness that. But look, you have love, and you chose love over fun, over hobby, and you got a good job and you're taking care of grandkids, you got people to take care of. And as you mentioned before, it's Sunday, man. It's family day. So I want you to go enjoy your Sunday, your family day. And we'll keep talking, and I'll keep promoting you and clicking and loving all the videos on your TikTok. And hopefully you get some of that sweet, sweet TikTok money, little extra cheese. Right?
One day. Hey, and if you ever just want to get on and me get back on here and we just talk away one day.
Heck yeah.
I can talk all day, every day.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. And of course, I'm going to cut this up and put it into little bite-sized ticky-talky videos, and I put them on the Instagram and the Facebook. I'm proud to say I made $5 whole from Facebook last month. Yeah.
I think I've made $12 from TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm not like my wife, but I got my $12.
Yeah, YouTube is out there, and they gave me a couple dollars here and there, but oh my goodness, it's tough to break into that. Hey, you got the construction job, Tome Construction, TOLM, you said?
TOLM. Oh, yeah, Tome. Guess what else I do? Wednesday nights. Remember Kel Richardson?
Yes, Kel, man, the DJ Frog.
Me, Kel, Brian Britt, two of my oldest boys. Kel's girlfriend's nephew and another guy and two other guys. We live stream on Twitch, Dungeons and Dragons.
I play too much Fortnite. I try. All right, my internet is terrible here. Obviously, we've had a couple of breakouts in this podcast, but I live stream some Facebook, some Fortnite, and I figured out if I use the 5G on my phone to point it up at my screen, yeah, it's a little wonky, for people that are watching. But I'm playing my Fortnite. I'm streaming it on my phone, and it seems to work out okay. And people were watching it. But Twitch, man, I'm live on Twitch right now. I use this other computer behind me to put some advertising up on Twitch. So I'm up to I guess 108 people have followed me there. So, I don't know.
Well, you're going to have 109, because I'll follow you here in just a minute.
That's pretty cool, man. See, people are streaming, and us old farts are trying to get in on it. It's a kid's game, and mostly, I guess the girls, the young ladies, that are hawking their makeup products, and hey, follow me while I'm putting my makeup on and putting my shirt on for today's outfit checkup. Oh, and for those that are listening to the audio version, I got my man up and walking. Michael Frazier.
Let me
pop
show
up
you
walking.
my man cave that I'm working on.
I thought we were in the man cave. It looks good.
Those are all my popcorn buckets.
Okay. They have different, like, what, Marvel characters or Star Wars?
This one just came out with Fantastic Four.
What is going on here? You put popcorn in there.
Yeah. Eyes light up.
That is fantastic. Popcorn, where do you get that stuff?
I got this one at Movie Gallery. Not Movie Gallery. The one where you go in and sit down in the recliners and eat down there in Little Rock.
Okay, I don't know that one, but are you still going to the Comic-Cons, or are you going at all to those to get your wares?
I'm not, but I'm fixing to start. I just ordered me for Halloween a $350 Captain America costume.
I noticed that you wear the Captain America shirt. I got one of those in the closet there. I'm too fat to wear it, but hey, I put it on on 4th of July, and you're wearing your Captain America shirt right now. For those that are watching the video.
I have a Captain America, have an Iron Man, have an Aquaman, have a Batman, I have a Superman. I'm a comic kid of the 80s.
Okay, I'm hearing mostly DC. If you look at just on the top of the video behind me, I got my Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, the Holy Trinity.
So yeah, I'm fixing to turn this whole room once I get it all situated. It's going to be superhero stuff.
That's fantastic.
Now, I got my first painting I'm putting up.
Look at him. They got the Hulk and Spider-Man making a pee-pee. Yes.
Yep. It's going to be all fun.
That envelops your humor right there, my man.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, let's wind this one down. This is part one, I guess. Future episodes to be had. Let's you can give some shout outs to people that have helped you along the way. If you want to tell somebody that you love them, go for it.
Well, I got to tell my wife, Michelle, she is my rock through all this. And never thought I could love someone as much as I love her. And I've told her, I said, if we lose everything in this world and we have nothing but a cardboard box to live in, as long as it's with you, I'd be the happiest man in the world.
Man, that's just like rhyming right there. Michelle and Michael. Oh, my goodness. M and M. Aw.
We're the MFers.
Even better for a theological person as yourself.
Yeah, MF, Michael and Michelle Frazier.
Yes, sir. Oh, my goodness. All right, man.
Yeah.
I always like to finish these things off with last words for the people. This could be words to live by. This could be something you heard a long time ago, maybe a mantra that you wake up with in the morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Michael Frazier, I don't want this to be the last time that we talk, but I do want you to give the last words for the people.
All right, I'm going to give the last words of the people, something we can talk about where it came from next time. When you wake up every morning, realize no matter who you meet, they put their pants on the same way as you do. So treat them as a regular person, because it'll take you places further if you do than if you don't.
Well, there you have it, party people. Michael Frazier, man of many talents, the Pop, Arkansas. I know I keep saying Pop, Arkansas. I think he's up to, well, I don't even have to think. I'm looking. He's at 5,413 fans on TikTok. So go over there and show him some love. It's poppop, P-O-P-P-O-P _ Arkansas. And give him an ad, like, follow, subscribe, do all that kind of thing. And while you're there, hey, give me some love, too. KeysDAN 411, I think is that one. Or maybe it's KeysDAN 911. No, I have a backup, too, just in case. Because I'm teetering. Every time I put a video out there, TikTok just says, I don't know if we like this one. They review it. Some of them they review and they go, nah, we don't like this one. So I've been putting a lot of historical videos, and there's a couple of conspiracy videos that I have fun with, whether I believe in them or not. But I like to learn about stuff. So if since I'm learning, might as well put them on out there online, and maybe you could learn along with me. If you like what you hear, take a listen. But I know you're going to like what you hear and what you see when you check out Pop Arkansas on the TikTok. The man's, like I said, many talents, and he'll show you every one of those talents and a whole lot of himself that maybe you may or may not want to see, but you may want to see because he's a hunk of a man wearing his onesie. That one's just a few videos down as we record. Oh, my goodness. I've learned a lot more about this man that I've known for so many years. He's got some skills, and he's got his hands in the community. He's got love for his community. Whether he runs for office or not, hey, that remains to be seen. It could happen. I will have to check with his wife because, of course, he runs everything by his wife, as do I. They're a good team, and what more can you ask? He pursued happiness, and it seems like he's got it. You deserve it all, Michael Frazier, the Pop Arkansas. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, yes, you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's keysdan@radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace! I'm out of here.